And a lot of people question how long will this trading floor be here. I've got a great answer to that, and I usually say it always to everyone. My first day handing an order to a guy in the currency pit in the Canadian dollar, and I'll never forget the guy's face. He looks at me. I'm holding the order up in the air waiting for him to take it with 5 other runners around me. Everybody's got their hands up holding this paper order for him. And he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, new kid," he goes, "what are you doing down here?" He goes, "Don't you know this place is about to close?" And that was 17 years ago. And that guy hasn't been around for 15 of those 17 years. You know why? Because he was sitting there glooming and dooming, waiting for the day it was going to close. So what does he expect? He gets run out of here. You know what I mean? And
I don't subscribe, although bearish, maybe macro. I don't subscribe to the doom and gloom trade either.
No question. Eventually, the trading floor is going to close down, and I like to say once the options go to the screen, the way the futures are going to the screen, look out. But I think that the floor will always be here in one form or another. Right. This right now, what you're looking at behind you is basically booth space, okay? And it's very cheap to get a booth down here. And as you can see, my screens are down here, and like a lot of other traders, this is a cheap office space with a lot of kind of, interactive type, things that are occurring, again, with other traders around you. Not something that you get sitting back in La Jolla.
So let me ask you, do you see a lot of traders down there, Ben, that are that are trading from the floor where you are in a booth, but aren't in the pits? Do you see a lot of those guys?
Yes, you see it all the time.
Give me a number. How many people are doing that?
I'd say hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah, it happened. The actual transition began with the whole E-mini product and how I don't know if you remember, but years ago you used to have a Globex terminal to actually trade direct E-mini right there.
Right.
And so what happened was a lot of traders that wanted that direct connection to Globex and not have to phone an order in, so to say, or use another front end, they wanted that direct connection to Globex, so they actually sat down at a desk here, had the Merc install a Globex terminal, because back then, you couldn't have one of these Globex terminals installed in your office, even in the building, for a couple years. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a very long time that lasted for, because the Merc is smart, and they saw the demand, but that's what actually started this out, and to this day, you see a lot of guys that just sit in front of their TT terminal, Trading Technologies, or TOS or whatever it may be, whatever their front end is, as we call them down here. These are the guys, again, that are using basically the trading floor as office space. And I like to think that that's what, 10 years from now, that's what this place will basically be is. There may be, some guys in the pit doing a couple things, guys that have a couple customers, but most of the guys are going to be actually on computers around the outside of the old pit. It'll be like a computer pit, and if you look at the bond pit, that's basically what it is. There's guys sitting in the pit in front of their screens.